Okay guys, good afternoon. I'm going to answer one of the most commonly asked questions we get on social media. What is the difference between our GymPin and the cheap ones you see online? If we rewind back to when we got started back in 2020, I was in the gym and I was maxing out machines, and I said to Chris, I need something to add more weight to machines. So the first one that we actually welded for personal use was just that. It was welded, and it was literally welded from scrap metal that we found in the scrap metal bin. And what we found out quite quickly was that the weld is the weak part. This is just some cheap that we got off Amazon for about 20 quid. As you can see, it's bent quite easily. And what we actually, and they've actually had a very similar design to what we had. We figured that all the GymPins must have a collar, so our first initial GymPins had a collar. But what we quite quickly found is that the collar prevents the GymPin from going into machines which have a guard around the stack and perhaps a limited bit that you can fit it into. Things like the Life Fitness Insignia range, the Cybex, pin loader stuff, all have quite a slim part in the middle where you can fit a GymPin into. So the collar fouled that thin part. So we realised quite quickly that you can't have a collar around the stack if you're going to have a properly commercially viable product. And then what we also found is that the weld is actually the weak part. Any welds in the comments will be able to tell me that that's obvious, but I didn't realise that at the time. So the first one that we actually made actually bent immediately. So I gave it back to Chris and I said, no, this is no good, do it again. And then we eventually had something that we felt was commercially viable. So the first one was no good, and these ones that you can buy very cheaply online are seemingly no good as well. We bought this as a bit of a strength test and it bent quite quickly. Now, if you compare that to the GymPins that we proudly manufacture, you'll see it's a completely different beast. This is the KingPin in black. The KingPin, these are actually made from aluminium. So we wanted something that's light enough to live in your gym bag, but also strong enough to withstand any of the abuse that you guys are going to throw at it when the time is right. Okay, so it's made from aluminium. It's a very lightweight material, but very strong material. It's a two-piece construction, and this part here is the strong part, which isn't welded. So therefore, there's no intentional, or there's no. So because it's not welded, there's no weak points in there, which means it's much stronger than this piece of online. And people say to me that it's very expensive. Guys, if you purchase one of these are designed to last indefinitely. If you use this every week for 10 years and you get stronger every week for 10 years, that's a very small cost per use. Versus this thing, it'll cost you 30 quid or 20 quid, it'll bend in about 3 months, then you'll end up buying another one and it'll bend again, and eventually you'll end up buying a proper GymPin. If you're on the fence, you can use code FAKEGYMPIN at checkout for 10% off, and the old adage of you buy cheap, you buy twice has never been truer than with the GymPins. So check out the range of GymPins online, guys. They're proudly made in the UK and we ship worldwide.